No, it's not clickbait. I did have a good time and enjoyed the movie. Do I think it's a bad movie? No. I think it's great. Definitely not. Good, decent. Yeah, closer to decent. I know the fan score is like around 50% the last time I checked. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Maybe between 50, 60, around, somewhere around there. But yeah, this is going to be a no spoiler review of the Borderlands movie. As someone who plays a lot of Borderlands, and it's like the main game they play, with thousands of hours, probably around over 5,000 hours combined of all games. Um, Definitely an interesting movie. I do not regret going. I went, I just finished about an hour ago and got home and just typed some stuff up for points. But yeah, I hope you guys find this helpful. And let me know your thoughts. Please, no spoilers in the comments. Um, and everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. First off, I know a big thing was trailers and advertising. Um, and PG-13 rating. Uh, no blood. I think it's fine. I mean, I know the Borderlands games have blood in it, and I know some people do like blood in movies. I'm someone who doesn't really watch lots of blood in like gory movies, so I didn't really find the need for it. Um, and it seemed fine without. Still felt like a good action movie. Definitely a movie that's not for the gamers, but it still has stuff for the gamers. There's some references there. So I think Blood's fine as no Blood's fine as it's not meant to be just like the games. Not too much swearing. There is some stuff. Of course, being PG-13 can't have too much, but I just don't see a need for swearing that much. I think it can be funny sometimes, but again, not really needed. Um, but yeah, with the references and stuff, I think it did do good stuff to where like, oh my god, I know that. And you don't need to be a nerd to understand like it and those references to be important to the plot. The plot seemed kind of meh. Um, and like I don't know. It was okay. Yeah, the promos didn't help the hype because it kind of misleads things. As I mean, I guess trailers sometimes do in games. But this fan base gets really loud when they don't like things, and I think that was a mistake, as that affects who is going to watch the movie and how many people are going to. Um, I I think it did fine. I don't know how I would do a Borderlands movie. Um, Definitely not this, but it was all right. Not really, just not for the fan base. Um, Different audience, just for outsiders, which I think is fine because it gets people into the games. Like we already like the games. This will get more people to hopefully play the game, which I love because this is such a fun game. Um, yeah, it just kind of threw stuff off. I mean, like Claptrap, I could say this. He seemed okay. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but in the movie, I loved him. I think Claptrap was great, very funny, brought the Claptrap humor and cringe to it. Felt good. I mean, voices don't have to be exact. They're not the same people. I think it sounded good in like a Claptrap voice. Um, and yeah, he's one of my favorites. And the other one was Krieg. I loved Krieg. I loved his voice. I loved his dialogue. I know in an interview, the actor was like, "This is my favorite character." So I know, and I could tell he put a lot of love into it. And I'm just a big Krieg fan in general, so it really made me happy. So it may not be as much for other people, but Krieg felt very good. I didn't really notice the mask as much in the trailers. The mask being kind of shiny a bit did kind of throw me off. Um, it's I don't know. It's hard to say because it's different, and I can't really spoil anything. But I did like the mask for Krieg a little bit, but I really like the Psycho mask because they're all unique. There were some things that looked like really bad masks that people were like, oh, that doesn't look like the Psycho mask at all. But it seems like they were just trying to have a bunch of different types of masks, which I'm fine with, because I think it gives them more personality. Not that we got much personality to Psychos. I mean, they're just kind of crazy. But what I didn't like was Tannis. She felt a little off. I mean, Tannis is neurodivergent in the games. She was neurodivergent in the movie. It kind of felt too much, but I may just not pay much attention to the game dialogue um, for the reasons it felt off and a bit too much. Um, there were some things that I think landed great in dialogue wise for Tannis. I was like, yes, that is Tannis. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's also hard because she's a different character. I mean, all the characters still have like their personalities. They're just thrown in differently and they're different reason for being there. I mean, it's not Borderlands, it's Borderlands adjacent. Um yeah, I don't know. I can't really go much into what I didn't like because it goes into spoilers. Um it just felt off. Lilith was pretty good. I mean, I know there's many things about not seeing Simon stuff in the movies, which really felt weird, um, for sure. But it seems like a beginner uprise thing, um, for her, and definitely seems like still the broody type, um, in there. Yeah, still felt like Lilith. I mean, I don't see problems with like the age of Tanith and Lilith because it doesn't have to do with their character at all and personality. So it still felt like Lilith. I mean Borderlands is cringy stuff. And it felt kind of weak, but I don't think it was Lilith's fault and kind of on the writing side, which is fine to me. But then Roland, I think Kevin Hart did great. I didn't mention him as my favorites just because I really liked Krieg and Claptrap. Um, but yeah, Roland was great. Kevin Hart did a good job. He said in an interview he wanted to take it seriously, and he was definitely on the serious side of Roland while still having that humor of Borderlands and just BL1 Roland. BL1 Roland had some like dark stuff and just funny stuff that he would say. And Kevin Hart did amazing with that. It was not just like a crazy jokester Roland. It was very good. Him being short doesn't matter. Like, who cares about height? This, like, what does that have to do with anything? Um, there were some stuff that felt weird. Atlas was cool. I loved seeing the Atlas guns in live action, and the Crimson Lance looked really cool. I really liked how they looked. Um, there's some stuff with the Crimson Lance and stuff and characters that I didn't really like. But I don't want to go too much into that. Moxie was okay. This may just be not really playing stories much anymore. To where Moxie felt a little off, but definitely was Moxie. She looked amazing. I loved the suit. Um, place looked great. Marcus was amazing. I loved Marcus. Very good. Didn't see much of him, but that same was the story. He just kind of there on the side, and he was definitely there on the side. Um, Scooter and Ellie, Hammerlock and Wainwright had scenes cut, which I think would have been nice, but it definitely probably would have gone out of the way of the it would have made the plot very messy and just kind of throw them to the side. So I think it's good that they didn't add it. And how they have it now is fine. Um, and then we'd probably have less psychos, which psychos are the big thing of Borderlands. And I think they did the psychos well. Um, and some references like that Borderlands players would see. Um, and then Tina was all right to me. It may just be because I enjoyed other characters so much. Ariana Greenblatt did a good job with Tina. She said in an interview she was pitched to it as like Harley Quinn, but younger, I think it was. And it definitely felt like that. And it felt like a good performance. I don't know if I'd say great, but it was a solid performance. Um, Definitely had Tina stuff in it that I liked. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think it has to come with speaking in the voice, which sounds weird. I don't know. Because of Claptrap and Krieg talking felt very in character, that it made her feel less in character. Just kind of like, I feel like she has more of a scraggly voice, and excitement into stuff, which she doesn't, but she still has good stuff with like loving explosions and everything. I don't know, it's hard for me to explain. But yeah, I did like that. But the ending felt a bit rushed, while the rest was decent pace that lets you like take in a bunch of references while still having the story go along. I think for Borderlands players, it the references helped the story go along, where outsiders may not really get it as much. Um, it was just kind of like weird. I don't know. That's really all I can kind of think of. I mean, this I didn't write a script, so it's kind of a bit all over the place. Was a fun time. Not everyone will see it that way. I don't think I'd recommend people go to the movies for it. I mean, if you want to, definitely do it. I think it's a decent outside movie. It had a bunch of fun stuff. I don't regret going to the movies. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. Different kind of thing, but Borderlands movie, let's go. It happened. Um, I doubt a second one would go. If there wasn't like a lead up to a second one. Probably because they didn't know how it would do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.